Hey, what's up guys, Sahil here from Android for Life, and it has been a season of really good flagship this year. First, the Samsung Galaxy S6, then the HTC One M9, and now it's time for the LG G4. So LG got a lot of attention previous year with their LG G3, and let's see how LG G4 compete against its competitors. So the LG G4 design at front is reminiscent of LG G3. The G4 is easy to hold despite being a big phone thanks to its curved design which makes it comfortable to hold than a flat surface phone. LG G4 has a plastic back which has diamond pattern, but there are other options too, like the one with leather back which looks way more sexy. However, the back is removable so you can change it according to your taste. Now I would pick up this plastic back anytime over the glossy back which is way more slippery. Right under the back, we have removable 3000 mAh battery and expandable micro SD card slot which supports memory card up to 2 TB. Also, just like the G3, the G4 has buttons at the back and I'm in love with them. At starting, it took me some time to get too used to it, but once you get used to them, you will never ever gonna go back to the side buttons. Also, they are really great in case you take a lot of selfies. The volume up and down button have texture on them so you can easily differentiate them from the power button. However, LG's G4 is still missing the fingerprint lock, one thing which is there in the iPhone 6 and the Samsung Galaxy S6, but the knock code is a great substitution, which means you can knock on the screen at certain number of times and at different places, but it's not as good as the fingerprint lock. Jumping back to the display, it's a beautiful 5.5-inch Quantum IPS Quad HD display with a 538 ppi. Blacks are deep, colors are great, and they are very vibrant too, and unlike Galaxy S6, it is not highly saturated at all. Text is so crispy that it feels like reading on a paper. I love the fact that it's a 5.5-inch display, although it makes the phone quite big and difficult to hold for a single hand use, but then you don't have to switch back and forth between a tablet and a smartphone, and it's great for media consumption. However, speaker on this phone is not good at all. It's loud, but sound is not crisp at all, but phone's display is enough to push you towards entertainment. Now the LG G4 is running on Snapdragon 808 chipset with a 6-core processor. Okay, here is the deal. People have been thinking that G4 sucks in performance because most of the flagships are running on Snapdragon 810, but the thing which matters more is the optimization, and believe me, LG has done really great optimization. Browsing throughout the UI, multitasking, all things are smooth, and thanks to that 3GB of RAM, and it can handle any game thrown at it with ace, so you don't have to worry about specs at all. Point blank though, the Snapdragon 808 doesn't get heat up as much as the Snapdragon 810, so in real world performance 808 is better because 810 ends up with thermal throttling which brings down the performance. Now let's talk about the software. So the device is running on Android 5.1 Lollipop with LG skin on top. It has a lot of materialistic elements with some really great value adding features, such as you can change the navigation buttons and choose in which app they appear or not. Double tap to unlock and lock the phone works great, and it doesn't get automatically unlocked in my pocket like the OnePlus One. We can even pull down on screen while it's locked and get a quick glance of notifications and time. Also, it has a dual window option just like the Samsung, and it's responsive, fast, and you can take the full advantage of 5.5-inch screen using this feature. Q-Slide apps are quite handy, which are LG's floating apps, and G4 has even got a resizable keyboard, but there are then some flaws too. For example, settings menu looks really messy, but you can change it to list view. However, the quick notification toggles really sucks. If you want to get access to all the toggles, you have to scroll to them as there is no second pull down option like in vanilla Android, but the number of pros are much more than the cons, and it's one of the best adaptation of stock Android. Now it has got a beautiful screen, powerful processor, but what about the battery life? Well, the phone lasted for a day with a screen on time of 3.5 hours on medium usage including YouTube, Instagram, downloading updates, etc. Also, the standby time is great. When I slept, the battery was 98%, and when I woke up, it was at 95%. And the best thing about battery is that you can change it as it is removable, and if you purchase the LG G4 right now, you will get a free extra battery and a memory card with it, which is great. But the device doesn't support quick charging at all, and that's what LG said. But recently, people are claiming if you use a fast charger, it will take 23% less time, and I tried and it took comparatively less time, but still it's not as fast as quick charging. Finally, let's talk about the main feature of this phone, the camera. Hands down, it's one of the best camera in smartphone. It has a wide aperture of 1.8 which means detailed images and better low light performance with very low noise along with optical image stabilization that stabilizes along XYZ axis. It has got a laser autofocus, which means the laser bursts out to the object and then it is reflected back to the sensor, and the software calculates the time, which helps in getting the exact position of the object, which is really great for landscape or macro shots with beautiful bokeh. Dynamic range is pretty solid. Color reproduction is also great, and in case if you feel like you don't like the auto mode, you can capture using the manual mode, which offers DSLR-like features like ISO, shutter speed, white balance, manual focus, and even the histogram. Also, you can capture images in RAW and edit them afterwards in your choice of software. LG is also improving its selfie game with its front camera and got some nifty features like you can close your fist to take a pic and then move down the screen to view the pic. Also, we can double tap the volume down key to open the camera and take a pic immediately, or choose to just open the camera. And then there is selfie light, which helps in taking selfies in low light by flashing the screen. The back camera supports 4K and slow-mo video mode. Shooting with optical image stabilization is not good at all because optical image stabilization is quite aggressive and it distorts the video, but since optical image stabilization is a software issue, it can be easily fixed via software update. Overall, it's a really great replacement for a point-and-shoot camera, and it gets really close to an entry-level DSLR. So, I have been using the LG G4 for a week now, and it's a beast. LG has really nice package to offer, great performance, lightning fast UI, one of the best display, and without any doubt, best smartphone camera. So, should you buy the G4? I would say hell yes, and now is the best time. As I mentioned earlier, you will get a free 32GB SD card and an additional battery with the G4. In case you are looking forward to buy it, I will leave a link right below in the description box. So that wraps up the video. I hope you like it, and if you have any suggestions, leave them right below in the comment box. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.